Hi there. This is me talking to you after I've edited the video and put everything together, and it's just been a wild ride this time. I did a whole lot of video where I showed making stickers of all different kinds, and I showed making that mermaid drawing into a sticker, and that video just didn't work out right. I just couldn't get it to work right. Editing it was really frustrating. So instead of continuing on with something that was so frustrating, I re-recorded making some stickers. So the making of the mermaid drawing into a sticker is not in this video. I kept all that video that I took, so maybe I can kind of extract that and scrap the audio and just do like a time lapse and have that either with another video or its own video. So unfortunately this video will not feature the actual making of the mermaid drawing into a sticker, but I do go over the basic method of making stickers with common household stuff. And I am going to probably make another video because I kind of skipped over some stuff that I had put in the video all the video I recorded, and I just felt like it kind of made things too long. So I'll put that in a separate video of some extra little techniques, if you want to call it that. At any rate, I hope you enjoy this video. I tried my best to compact it and not go too long. So I guess I'll just cut it right here and let you get into the video. Good afternoon. This is the follow-up video to the mermaid drawing video where I was going to turn that mermaid drawing into a sticker. Well, almost 2 hours of video later and maybe close to an hour of editing, I realized that I sounded kind of like either Neil Breen or William Shatner, or maybe both, and it was time to stop and reevaluate. It's just way too much video, and a lot of it was and trying to find things and trying to figure out things. So that was fine. It was sort of a dry run. My only regret is that now I can't show you that I actually made that mermaid drawing into a sticker. There's a little sticker on this little backing paper. But I still have the footage. I may try to strip the audio off and do like a time lapse and put some kind of voiceover over it. So we'll see. But I do want to do a much shorter, condensed, informative video on how to make your own stickers with some very basic materials. And I've seen quite a number of these videos, but here goes mine. Anyway, here's some of the stickers that I've already made, just to give you an example of what is possible. And all of these were made with very simple things. I think all of these are just the packing tape ones. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So let's move those to the side and bring out our pile of materials. Okay, a couple of different things for backing papers. And packing tape, regular clear packing tape, and double-sided sticky tape that has the paper backing to it. So protects one side. Scissors of various types and some little artwork to turn into stickers. So let's get straight into what I'm going to do and how we're going to do this. I'm going to save this one for last because it's wider than the tape is. So we'll approach that a slightly different way. Okay, first we're going to do this with only the packing tape and your artworks. And you'll notice I've got these two little star stickers, and they are still connected. They're all on one piece of paper, whereas the little hearts have been cut out separately. And there's a reason for that. And I will show you that reason right now. So we're not going to use the double-sided sticky tape just yet. Now this backing paper I've got here is parchment paper. And it's really good for making your homemade stickers. Most tape doesn't stick to it that well. It sticks enough to where you can work, but then you can peel it back off again. Unfortunately, it doesn't work as well for the double-sided sticky tape, so we'll have to use something else for that. But for most tapes, and you might even find a double-sided sticky tape that works with parchment paper. And there are some other things you can use, but it gets a little more complicated from there. So instead of trying to do that this time, I'm just going to go with this simpler version, and I can do a more complicated version later. But right now, simple. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a piece of regular packing tape that I think will accommodate both of my hearts. And I put that sticky side down on the parchment paper. And I'm going to pull another piece of packing tape about the same size, and place it on my work surface sticky side up. And I'm going to put both my little hearts on here so that they're right about in the middle. There's enough space on both sides. So we're going to cut those out in a moment. And then this one, I think I'll put it that way. And you got to leave enough room because we're going to leave a border around these. And now we're going to take those and put them on top of, directly on top of the other piece of sticky tape. And now our heart artwork is completely encased in the packing tape. And smooth it out so there are no bubbles. But if you do get a bubble, you can use a little pin, and let's just pretend we had a bubble over here. It doesn't really matter because it's not over the sticker, but just for the sake of argument, let's say we want to get rid of a bubble. You poke it with a pin and push it down. You might have to do that a couple of times, and you can push the air out and make it flat. You'll probably still see a little mark, kind of, depending on how big the bubble was and how good you can smooth it down. But it'll be down, you won't really notice it. Okay, now to make things easier, I'm going to cut this out of this larger piece of parchment. And I probably should have done this more toward the end. And just to show you something, I've got this piece of parchment, and it's still got some tape on it. You can peel that off and use it again for something else. It's kind of a small piece, so I don't know what I'd use it for, but like if you've got extra tape somehow, you know, like on here, you just peel it off. Oh my. That was awkward. Okay, you just peel it off and you can use it, like if you've got extra tape somehow for some reason. Okay, and just to explain something before we cut these out, when you cut them out, you're going to want to leave a little bit of a border, maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch. Not as much, I mean, you could go to a 1/4 of an inch if you want to, especially if you're doing something larger. But it's kind of what you feel comfortable with, because while you're leaving the border, is that the stickers, of course, and we'll just use this as an example, this back part of the sticker is not sticky. So when you put that on that second piece of packing tape, the only sticky part was around the outside of your artwork. So that's the only thing holding the sticker together, is the border of tape around the artwork. If you were to cut right along the edge of this artwork, the sticker would fall apart. Because if you did that by accident, all you'd have to do is take the artwork and stick it on another piece of sticky tape, stick it down to another piece of sticky tape underneath, and cut it out with the border. You'd wind up with a little bit thicker sticker, but you could still salvage it. Ask me how I know, because I did that, and I had to put more tape on. Okay, so I'm going to cut this, and this is definitely more than a 1/16 of an inch. Maybe it's an 1/8 of an inch. I don't think it's quite a 1/4 of an inch. But this is about what we're talking about. I mean, if you leave it too large, you may use up too much paper, or it may look kind of awkward. Of course, the tape is clear, so are you really going to see it? But, you know, it's up to how you want to do what you feel comfortable with. But if you leave it too small, it's never going to stick on it. Like I said, it's going to fall apart. So leave a border. And we'll do this one. And once we've made all the stickers, oh, that's a little too much, so I'm going to try to go a little closer. Ooh, let's try something. That's probably enough light. That's an awful lot of a border, but, you know, oops, I kind of did that a little janky there, but try to trim a little bit more of this off. Okay, so that's those two. That's using a backing paper of some kind, like parchment paper or wax paper or freezer paper, you know, on the waxy side. Or if you have, for instance, those Scotch laminating sheets come with a backing, or contact paper has that paper backing, you can use that too as a backing for your stickers. Although I would save those pieces, especially the Scotch laminating sheets. When you've used the laminating sheet, you've got that leftover backing piece. Save that, and you can use it like I did with this one to put your stickers on, to display them or keep them. See, if that's all it is, it's one of those. Okay, so that's those two. Put them somewhere where they're not going to be too reflective. Okay, now for these two that are on the same sheet, you're going to need your packing tape and also the double-sided sticky tape. You can do these a different way because of the double-sided sticky tape. And again, you're going to pull off a piece of double-sided sticky tape that's going to fit over both those little stars, or whatever you got. And I have a different backing paper. This is wax paper. And I did a little bit of testing. The last video I did that I'm not going to air right now until I can figure out what to do with it. I used this, but I used the double-sided sticky tape with the parchment paper. And even though I've gotten the double-sided sticky tape off that parchment paper before, for some reason it didn't want to release. And I wound up just cutting the whole thing off. I think I even had to scrap one of the stickers that I had made. I was not a happy camper. That's one of the reasons I decided not to use that video. But I'm putting this double-sided sticky tape with the sticky side down in that paper backing. I'm just going to test. See, yep, it comes right off the wax paper pretty easily. Okay, now instead of reaching for your packing tape right away, we can peel off that backing. If it'll let us. That's the only thing, is you've got this tension because it's harder to peel the backing off if the stuff doesn't want to stick to the surface. But if it wants to stick to the surface too much, then you're not going to be able to make a sticker. So I got that off. Come on. There we go. You can save this too. Put a sticker on that too. But the sticker's made from the double-sided sticky tape on there. It won't, it'll be okay. Alright, so now I'm going to put those right on there, both of them together. It doesn't matter that they're not cut out. And now you get your packing tape out. And get a piece of packing tape that fits that. And I've stuck my packing tape to the double-sided sticky tape. Okay. And now you're going to put this on. I didn't say this before because I had the stickers on there already, but I'm kind of folding this up on both sides and putting the middle of the tape down first and then smoothing it out. And smooth it down. And with this double-sided sticky tape, it's hard to say, but with this sticky tape, this double-sided stuff, sometimes this is where you get the bubbles more often than you would with just the packing tape, because you're just sticking right on some sticky stuff, and if the tape gets bunched up, sometimes you'll get a bubble right there. That's why I like to put the middle down first and then smooth that out to the sides. So to make it easier to cut these out, I'm going to just cut those out. Get my smaller scissors out because they're easier to cut small things with, right? And now this one, you can cut right on that line and it won't matter because that paper, the back of that star, has that double-sided sticky tape to stick to. So it doesn't matter. And I kind of shaved that a little too close. But that's okay. Just trying to get some examples going here. If you want to, you still could trace. If you want to, you still could leave a border around your sticker. It would include the piece of white paper, but it depends on what you want it to look like. Let's cut that off. Get it out of the way. Try. It's easier for me to cut in the other direction. Maybe because I'm right-handed, I don't know what it is. Let me get rid of this so it's not hanging there. Now, you notice I'm kind of wasting a bit of paper and tape and everything else. Mainly because, I'm just trying to do this for an example. If I was to do this and make like a whole sheet of them, I would try to arrange them differently so I'm not wasting so much paper and tape. Okay. Almost to the end of this one. Okay. And there's number 4 done. Two different ways. With just a backing paper and packing tape, and backing paper, double-sided sticky, and packing tape. So, you've got some choices. If you don't have the double-sided sticky tape, you can do it with the packing tape. Just remember to put a border around it so it doesn't fall apart. Okay, last one. This is larger than the other ones, obviously, wider. You're not going to get it on the tape. No way, no how. So, you have to decide what we want to do to cover it. And remember those Scotch laminating sheets I was talking about before? The self-laminating ones, not the thermal ones. Oops. Those, you can use those to make stickers out of these. You could use 2 layers of those, like with the packing tape and the sticker and that. You could use laminating sheet this and another laminating sheet, do a whole bunch of them on one 8.5 by 11 sheet, and have a whole bunch of stickers to cut out at a time, I guess. But we're not going to do it that way this time. If you don't want to get the laminating sheets, or you don't have the laminating sheets, we're going to do this a different way. So, again, you could do this the same way with just the packing tape, but I think I'm going to use double-sided. So I'm going to put the double-sided tape down like I did before. Now, we need to make these 2 pieces of this tape overlap. So I'm going to have to go ahead and pull that off right away. Even though I would rather not, because they're all exposed and sticky and just waiting to cause me a problem. Can't see it, but it's right there. And then another piece about the same size. And overlap it by 1/4 of an inch or so. And put that down. I should be able to get the backing off of this part easier as well. Yep. Good. Now we're going to put our sticker down there. Anywhere in the middle with enough stuff around it. I mean, this one, you're not going to have to worry as much because it's on the sticky paper and you can cut, color. You don't have to worry as much with this one because you're going to just cut right, along where the edge of the paper is. You don't have to worry about it falling apart. Now, the packing tape. And one part there. And I am kind of wasting. I could have gone down a little bit and made, cover it over. Since we're not having to worry about having a border, I could cut it a little closer. But when you're trying to make something to show other people, it's kind of hard and a little bit stressful because you want to do it right, at least as close to correct as you can. It's a little bit stressful, so you kind of wind up doing things a little bit like the easy way. Okay, and another piece. And I've overlapped those 2 pieces of packing tape. Again, this one is about 1/4 of an inch or so. You could do it less than that. You could try to make them line up exactly, but you might wind up with a little bit of space in between the 2 pieces of tape. So it just winds up being easier to overlap them, just to make sure that the sticker is completely covered. And I got a bubble here. So just because I can, oops, hit the wrong button, there we go. Where did the bubble go? You can see it more on the black area there. You see that bubble? Poke, poke with the pin, and you can smooth it down. And there's another one right there. Poke, poke. Poke, poke. Until you get all the bubble out. And you can kind of still see little bits of remains. That kind of flattens out. And again, that's mainly because of that double-sided sticky under there is why you can see the remains. If there was regular packing tape under there and it was smoother, you wouldn't really see that. But that's how you deal with the bubble. Like I said, I didn't have to do that bubble because it was completely outside and that part's going to get cut off. But I wanted to show what to do. And again, just cutting some of this off. So that it's easier to cut. And now, just like with the other smaller ones, I'm going to cut right along where that paper edge is. Okay, so that one's all cut out. So I kind of feel like we don't have enough light. So here's all the stickers. And I'm a little bit worried about that one. We'll do that one last. Okay, so these are the stickers that are made with the... Okay, that's a little bit. So these are the stickers made with the double-sided sticky tape. And the backing should pull away very easily. Because I tested it out. And it does not like it. We're going to pause here for a minute and I'm going to do a little bit of work on these stickers and I'll get back to you. Okay, and I'm back. I finally got the wax paper off. And turn the big light off again. I had to... And I'm using the backing from the double-sided sticky tape for these, which they're not sticking to very good now because I've worked with this so much that they've lost some of their stickiness, and I think there's still some of the wax paper stuck on the back of them. But at least I got them off to where I can use them for stickers now. Oh my goodness. I'll work on that more later. But so the wax paper may not be the best with the double-sided sticky tape. So we're still on the hunt for something to use with that. Maybe just keep using the backings that come with it. Save those little slips and keep using them. Okay, so let's see if it's any better with the ones with only the packing tape. Then the double-sided stuff does. Alright, and it's sticky all the way around because you've got that bottom layer of packing tape. But like I said, you've got to be very careful and not separate the two layers of packing tape. I'll just use one of those. Yeah, it comes off there really nicely. And that one. I'm going to get this ready because I know the double-sided sticky tape is not going to stick too badly to that. And this is what this one is. This has double-sided sticky tape. Okay, so I guess the search will continue for an appropriate backing for the stickers with the double-sided sticky tape. But they are possible. And that is the pumpkin. And again, it's losing some of its stickiness because I think some of the wax paper is still stuck on there, and I've also handled it a lot. But I don't know. What I may do is I may try to do another layer of stickiness, or I may just leave it the way it is. I can always cover it over with some clear tape on whatever I put it on. Okay, and that is it. We've gone through the basic steps. I did explain some more fancy ways to do some of this in the other footage that I got, but we'll make that into a separate video. That way it doesn't go too long. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you figured it out. Alright, thanks again. Have a good one.